96 homes were built on my property, intentionally, not accidentally. My grandfather left me 47 acres of Colorado woodland, fully paid for and untouched. For 3 years, I hadn't visited. Divorce, long work hours, 2 kids in college, it all kept me away. But every April, without fail, I paid the $6,400 property taxes. Online receipts, emails, bank confirmations, everything documented. So when I returned in August of 2022 to scatter my grandfather's ashes, I expected to find pine trees, silence, and the rough fire road I used to hike as a kid. Instead, I found a luxury subdivision. Where my forest had once stood, there were paved streets, rows of stucco homes, mailbox clusters, manicured lawns, and a giant carved stone sign that read, Ridgeline Heights, a Whitmore luxury community. Families were walking inside with boxes. Kids rode scooters on the sidewalk. A moving truck blocked the cul-de-sac like this place had existed for years. I checked my GPS 4 times. Same coordinates. Same parcel. Same property. My property. At the gate, a security guard stopped me with the board authority of someone paid to feel important. Residents only, sir. This land belongs to me, I answered, showing him a photo of the deed on my phone. He laughed. Right. And I own Tesla. Please leave. Before I could argue, a white Range Rover rolled up. A woman stepped out, mid-50s, Botoxed expression locked permanently between surprise and judgment. Diamond bracelets. Linen outfit worth more than my truck's transmission. Her attitude announced she'd never been told no in her life. Cassandra Whitmore. HOA president. Developer. Queen of Ridgeline Heights. What's the issue, Ray? She asked the guard, ignoring me entirely. This man says he owns the development. Only then did she glance at me, her eyes measuring everything, from my dusty work boots to my oil-stained Carhartt jacket. She looked at me like I was a stray animal wandering somewhere I didn't belong. How adorable, she said. Sir, if you're seeking construction work, I can check if any crews are still hiring. I'm not looking for a job. I'm the landowner. My grandfather. She lifted a manicured hand to silence me and pulled out her phone. Our title company already verified this land was abandoned for over 3 years, under Colorado's adverse possession statute. Adverse possession means nothing if the property owner pays taxes, I cut in. Her smile faded into something colder. You know just enough to be dangerous. She pulled a business card from her purse and held it between 2 fingers, like touching it too long would contaminate her. Here. Our attorney, Brian Keir. Call him. He'll explain why your claim has no legal merit. And how many homes have you sold? All 96. Pre-construction sales reached $16 million. Families will fully occupy by Thanksgiving. She stepped closer and raised her phone, snapping a picture of my license plate. Just in case you return and damage anything. We have excellent surveillance footage. Then she leaned in and whispered, People like you never beat people like us. Her perfume smelled like money and arrogance. I drove home shaking. That night, I covered my entire kitchen table with every document Grandpa ever kept. Leather-bound journals, survey maps, tax receipts dating to the 70s, and the original 1971 deed. Cassandra had threatened me, mocked me, photographed my vehicle, and treated me like I was some lost nobody. What she didn't know was that she just handed me everything I needed to destroy her. The next morning, I called her attorney. His receptionist answered in a soft, rehearsed voice. Mr. Keir has authorized me to extend a nuisance settlement of $15,000 if you sign a quitclaim deed by Friday. I laughed. $15,000 for $4 million in property. A quitclaim deed, basically the legal version of waving the white flag. Tell him he'll see me in court, I replied. I needed a real attorney, someone ruthless, someone who scared other lawyers. My friend Marcus recommended one name, Lydia Chun, a property law legend who once defeated a railroad company so thoroughly they offer her a consulting job out of fear. Her consultation cost $500. I paid immediately. Lydia listened to everything, my discovery, the documents, the threats, without interrupting. When I finished, she flipped through my tax records and finally allowed the slightest smile. Colorado adverse possession requires 18 years of continuous hostile use, and the squatter must pay property taxes. You've paid them every year. Their claim is legally dead. So we stop construction? File injunction. She shook her head. No. Let them finish. I stared. What? If you halt construction now, her company declares bankruptcy and drags you into 3 years of litigation involving 96 families. But if they complete construction, and then you file for declaratory judgment, you own it all. Every house. Every lot. Cassandra sold property she didn't legally possess. That's fraud. She leaned forward, voice firm and surgical. Dakota, when this ends, you will control a fully built neighborhood. My stomach dropped. What's your fee? $40,000 to $50,000. But you'll recover every dollar in damages. I had $12,000 to my name. My truck burned a quart of oil a month. My daughter's tuition was due soon, but I hired her anyway. Over the next weeks, I visited Ridgeline Heights twice a week from public roads, filming everything. Workers installing pools. Carpenters painting trim. Electricians wiring porches. All time-stamped. Week 3, Cassandra saw me. She pointed at my truck and made a call. 20 minutes later, a sheriff's deputy arrived. Sir, we got a report you were harassing residents. I'm filming construction on my land. He looked uncomfortable. This is a civil matter. But she funds our department's equipment drive. If she calls again. Translation, she has power. You don't. I understood. By November, families were moving in. Kids playing in driveways. People unpacking Christmas decorations. I felt sick. These weren't criminals, they were victims too. Thanksgiving week, Cassandra escalated. A certified letter arrived. Cease and desist trespassing, or face criminal harassment charges. Attached was a photo of my truck, on a public road, with my license plate circled in red. I took everything straight to Lydia. She read it, and laughed so hard she cried. They're documenting their own fraud. Dakota, this is perfect. She told me to stay quiet. Let Cassandra keep digging her own grave. But in December, things escalated in a way I never expected. False code enforcement complaints. Accusations of illegal dumping. Anonymous calls claiming hazardous waste. Even county inspectors felt suspicious about how often the Whitmores weaponized the system. Then, 1 week before court, Cassandra played her dirtiest card yet. A Facebook post. Alert, dangerous man stalking Ridgeline Heights. Photographing children. Claims ownership of our neighborhood. Sheriff notified. Protect your families. My name. My photo. My truck. Hundreds of shares. By morning, my workplace placed me on leave. People crossed streets to avoid me. My daughter called crying. Cassandra wasn't just stealing my land, she was dismantling my life. The only thing keeping me together was Lydia's final sentence before the section of the story ends. Dakota, this proves malice. This is the best evidence we could ask for. And now we bury her in court. My life was collapsing. The Facebook post had gone viral enough that strangers messaged me threats. Some told me to stay away from their kids. Some told me to move out of Colorado. Someone even mailed a letter with nothing inside except a photo of my truck and a bullet drawn next to it. I barely slept. January 12th, the court date, approached like a countdown to either salvation or ruin. Lydia assured me we had everything. Fraud. Trespass. Defamation. False reporting. Property theft. Malicious intent. But fear still gnawed at me. The morning of court, snow blanketed the street in front of the county courthouse. I walked up the steps feeling like I carried the entire weight of those 96 homes on my back. Inside, Cassandra stood with her husband Preston, 3 attorneys in suits, and a smug expression carved into her frozen Botox smile. She saw me and smirked like she'd already won. Lydia stood beside me, calm, sharp-eyed, holding a binder thicker than a phone book. When our case was called, the courtroom filled. Residents of Ridgeline Heights. Reporters. Even the county inspector who'd witnessed the false complaint. Cassandra's attorney, Keir, began with rehearsed confidence. "Your Honor, this man has stalked our community, harassed residents, and falsely claims ownership of property he abandoned." Lydia didn't bother to hide her amusement. "Your Honor," she said, stepping forward, "we will demonstrate today that Mr. Flint not only owns the property at issue, but that the defendants knowingly, willfully, and maliciously sold and developed land they did not possess." Keir scoffed. Cassandra whispered something smug. Then Lydia opened her binder. Exhibit A, the 1971 deed. Exhibit B, tax records from 1971 to 2022. Exhibit C, email confirmations for every payment. Exhibit D, satellite images showing no one occupying the land. Exhibit E, permit filings showing the Whitmores claimed adverse possession without paying taxes. Exhibit F, the Facebook post accusing me of stalking children. Exhibit G, the false code enforcement reports. Exhibit H, recorded videos of Cassandra confronting me and threatening me. It was a massacre. The judge's eyebrows rose higher with each piece. Then Lydia called Rick Polson, the county inspector, to the stand. Mr. Polson, who filed the complaint alleging illegal dumping. He cleared his throat. It came from Mrs. Whitmore's office. Anonymous, but traced back to her number. "And what did you find?" "Nothing. No debris. No violation. Completely false." A ripple went through the courtroom. Then Lydia called Deputy Torres. "Deputy, you were sent to confront Mr. Flint. On what grounds?" A resident claimed he was threatening people. But he was on public property and doing nothing wrong. "Did he appear threatening?" "No, ma'am." Then came the biggest reveal. Lydia summoned a forensic auditor. This man explained that Ridgeline Capital Group, the Whitmore's financing arm, had a history of filing false land claims, then selling lots before courts could challenge them. It was a pattern. Documented. Repeated. The judge's jaw tightened. Keir tried to salvage what he could. Objection. Irrelevant prior history. Overruled. Finally, Lydia presented the finishing blow. A public email Preston accidentally CC'd to a subcontractor 4 months earlier. It read, "Don't worry about the deed issue. By the time anyone challenges it, the homes will be sold, and the courts won't throw out an entire community." The courtroom gasped. Cassandra's face drained of color. The judge leaned forward. "Mrs. Whitmore. Mr. Whitmore. Step forward." They did. "Did you or did you not have knowledge that this land was still legally owned by Mr. Flint?" Keir whispered urgently, but Cassandra ignored him. Her arrogance doomed her. She smiled and said, "We believed he wouldn't fight it." Silence. Pure, icy silence. The judge removed his glasses. "Ms. Whitmore, that is an admission of willful fraud." What followed wasn't dramatic shouting. No banging gavels. No chaos. Just a calm, devastating verdict. The court rules in favor of the plaintiff, Mr. Dakota Flint. He is the sole legal owner of the Ridgeline Heights subdivision. All 96 homes, structures, improvements, and profits now legally belong to him. Furthermore, the defendants are liable for fraud, trespass, defamation, harassment, and emotional damages. I exhaled so sharply Lydia touched my arm to steady me. The judge continued. "Mrs. Whitmore, Mr. Whitmore, you are hereby referred to the district attorney for criminal prosecution." Cassandra collapsed into her chair. Preston cursed loudly, earning a warning from officers who stepped forward. Residents in the courtroom were stunned. Some angry. Some crying. Some looking at me with hope, others with fear. Outside the courthouse, cameras swarmed. Reporters shoved microphones toward me. "What are you going to do with 96 homes?" one asked. I looked at Lydia. She nodded. I answered, "I'm going to do what my grandfather would have done. I'm going to do the right thing." Over the next month, I worked with attorneys, banks, and the county. The homeowners, innocent families who bought in good faith, were given the option to buy their homes properly at cost or continue living there under new, fair agreements until decisions were made. I didn't take a penny of profit from them. The Whitmores, on the other hand, their assets were seized, their accounts frozen, their company dissolved, and Cassandra's mugshot, once the queen of Ridgeline Heights, circulated online with the same speed her lies once had. As for me, I rebuilt my reputation. My employer reinstated me. My daughter told me she was proud of me. My grandfather's journals now sit on my shelf, no longer smelling like dust and oil, but like justice. I visit the property sometimes. The place they tried to steal. The place that reminded me of one lesson I'll never forget. Crooks can build a neighborhood on your land, but they can't build a victory on a foundation of lies.